Imagine every major institution in the world able to settle every major fiat asset with every other institution in a compatible jurisdiction in seconds for less than a penny. And I'll say that again in case you missed it. Imagine every major institution in the world able to settle every major fiat asset with every other institution in a compatible jurisdiction in seconds for less than a penny. That is a very, very big deal.
What is going on, guys? Kevin Cage here with another cryptocurrency update. In today's video, we're going to be diving into some XRP news. I do want to touch on Casper and some of the huge partnerships that they're also building behind the scenes, and maybe even HBAR if we have time. So, first and foremost, this clip was shared by Crypto Eddie the other day of David Schwartz, CTO of Ripple and one of the original co-designers of the XRP ledger and an early contributor to Bitcoin as well. And yes, he had a background at the NSA, very smart guy. And what he says in this video is this: that institutions and central banks, sovereign nations, will be interoperable with value. This is not just crypto. This could be any type of security or equity, like a stock of a company, a share of a company, tokenized real estate, tokenized intellectual property, IP. This is anything. And with crypto assets, this Web3 is the bedrock for all of this innovation. So you heard him correctly, that we will be transferring value between countries and institutions within a matter of seconds, and it will cost a fraction of a penny. Now, whether or not you believe in my thesis or agree with me, I couldn't care less. I believe in XRP. If you don't, that's fine. I've done my research. You've done yours. Teach their own. What will make the most money, or so we think, thanks to utility coming in the future, is that we want to speculate on which blockchains, or networks, I should say, will get the most adoption in the future. And of course, with a network that can properly scale and have a lot of transactions per second, TPS, we want to consider the transaction fee and network uptime. Now, Solana, it has tons of institutional adoption. I can't look away at that. But since I missed a massive pump, we're talking well over 100x returns, I'm stubborn. I'm not going to attack it. I'm going after other assets that I believe have massive upside. I've seen this game time and time again. I'm not smarter than anybody, but I am extremely patient and I'm confident in what I do. So looking at these gas fees on even Twitter, going over Ethereum, $7 to $90. I mean, please, I've spent a couple $100 in gas fees and silly transactions when the network is congested. Now, yes, Ethereum, I'm grateful for it. It's not going anywhere. We have to be real, but this is not going to be the only or primary chain of the future. I believe there's going to be other assets that eventually flip this. And I know that may be controversial, but that's the way you want to be. AVAX, 7 cents. Phantom is a complete beast. Been learning more about that ecosystem. Matic, of course, layer 2. But a lot of these assets have completely skyrocketed. Now, even if, Phantom and Matic, and they have another 5x in price potential, that's awesome. But I'm a lot more interested in altcoins that are still building, just like these guys, of course, but have yet to create another all-time high price. So, XRP, look at this. Look at the gas fee. Look at the cost. We're talking fractions of a penny. I'm not even sure if this is actually, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Crazy. And I mean, even HBAR is even cheaper than XRP. So just wanted to share that. Now, Sam Bankman-Fried, let me pull him up really quick. He believes, and he spoke at Ripple Swell, he's one of the most wealthy men in the entire cryptocurrency market, a multi-billionaire. I believe last time I checked, his net worth was $15 billion. The CEO of one of the largest exchanges, not Binance, but FTX. It's a derivatives exchange. Now, he has his hand in the cookie jar of a few assets that I am watching. And what's interesting about him is that he spoke at Ripple Swell, Ripple's annual event, and he said that he believes, what did he say, a couple dozen chains, a couple dozen primary blockchains in the future. So whether it's 12 or 36, there's surely not going to be 17,000 primary chains. A lot of them are completely shield hype or silly NFT projects. And there are NFT projects with real utility. I'm not going to turn a blind eye to that, but I'm not interested in something that is not going to be future-proofing and is not building during the drops. I'm looking at crypto as an already inherently risky investment asset class, so I want to make sure that I get a return on my investment, and then I can work on compounding it. Sharing this, my bet is that XRP is a survivor. We've had one of the largest crypto hedge funds even say that XRP will still be here in the next 10 years. And if the crypto asset class continues to go to 10 trillion, 50 trillion, 100 trillion plus, what do you think any asset in the top 10 would be in terms of valuation with a finite supply? Next up, everybody forgets when the market crashes, the Ripple liquidity hub for enterprises. We're going to watch this quick video clip. I know they announced this a few months ago. We also have the trademark that was filed for the Ripple liquidity hub back in November, and this is shared by Mr. B XRP. So if you guys want to pause it and read that. I also wanted to take a few points of this. Now, Ripple shared this, talking about this hub. This will allow enterprises, big institutions to source, trade, move, and manage value from a variety of liquidity venues. This is making crypto mainstream. I know a lot of Bitcoin maxis and ETH maxis, they need to get their head out of the sand because unfortunately they think that Ripple is the banker's coin, but if anything, they are protecting the cryptocurrency market and it's in their best interest that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all of these new altcoins have proper clarity. Ripple is taking all the hits, and I believe this is the biggest crypto lawsuit in history for good reason. This Ripple Liquidity Hub, notice that which assets were actually in this video. If you go through this and you pay attention to which crypto assets they highlight, I did notice a few, such as Polkadot. And as I've already referenced, Polkadot is an asset that has offices in Switzerland. Who else does? Well, Casper, of course. We could mention, of course, XRP or Ripple's offices are in Zurich, Switzerland, which has the highest amount of banks. I believe these assets are here to stay. Casper, based out of Switzerland, I want to cover a few things about them because this is massive and everybody's distracted by current price. And please remember this old talk. This is shared by Mark Phillips on Twitter. We have Intraledger Protocol, the XRP Ledger, XRP, the native asset on the ledger, on-demand liquidity, the liquidity hub, plus, of course, efficient pathfinding. And, of course, he even goes on to add asset-agnostic systems. Well, I mean, of course, ILP is agnostic. It's value agnostic. It doesn't matter. It can send any crypto. Just like some assets like, I guess you could say QNT of Quant or even API3 are chain agnostic. They're versatile. They can adapt to any network in a changing environment. That is something that I believe is future-proof. Quick reminder, new office in Zurich. This is Ripple. Main purpose, to sell XRP to institutional buyers. Now, I know this is older, but keep in mind Zurich is known as the city with the most number of banks. Now, who else is in the UAE besides Ripple, who has a regional headquarters out there and has some big plans? And I mean, don't even get me started on all of this with the Swiss Digital Exchange listing XRP. Switzerland already has regulatory clarity, but people are so focused on the United States, they're missing the big picture. If you can't handle the volatility of crypto and your investment being 50% down or 80% down, you're probably not made for this. If the price of an asset determines your mood for the day, you are over-invested. I say that with empathy. You are over-invested. And the only reason that I personally made life-changing wealth, or at least what I consider to be life-changing wealth, is that I was over-invested at times. But guys, I had massive losses on the way. I know I shared some of that early on in Twitter, like losses that people would not come back from. And so I've gotten up so many times that I believe anybody can come back from the hardest position in life. Whether you're a young kid at age 20 struggling at a 9-to-5, or you're older, you have multiple kids, you're going through a divorce, you're losing your house. I've met everybody. I've had such quality one-on-ones with so many people through all walks of life that have come from nothing or failed terribly and still rose from the ashes. So I believe anybody can do it. It truly is all about mindset. Now, this is also something I am looking at. As you guys know, with a lot of assets, there are huge crashes before they pump. DAG was one we were in at really $0.015. And let me just show you the chart to give you a taste. And this is not to say every single asset is going to the moon. No, I'm nervous about assets that are already up significantly. I'm looking at assets that are relatively close to their all-time low, such as Casper. Now, with DAG, it went all the way up to this level, dropped 75% this summer. One of my best friends watching this video sold his DAG down here. And I said rest in peace because afterwards, and I didn't know it was going to pump and recover that fast, but it recovered a 1,600% pump. That is over a 16x return. And I mean, it was up there. It wicked up there and then came up to that level yet again to the 4.236 that we marked. And this level was in our live stream that we marked all the way back in February when we entered at 1.5. Looking at a lot of assets that have had multiple crashes and multiple cups. And let me just pull up Atom. Atom is just a beautiful example of an asset that has always recovered. Keep in mind, it's fundamentally strong. It's a good ecosystem. It's here to stay. I watch all the Masari updates I can on Atom. It's legitimate, and I just want to paint a picture. I mean, look at that, right to the 8 as well. Look at all these cups. Cup and handle, cup and handle, cup and handle. We have another cup. Now, Yes, I get nervous the higher the price is because, of course, corrections, pullbacks are only natural in this market when you're looking at an asset that from its all-time low has gone up, 30, 40x in the past 2 years. Now, frankly, this is kind of conservative because I've seen some assets that are up 500x, and I think Atom is a good, safe, long-term hold. But when you're looking for a hold, you also want to try to get the lowest entry price. I don't care if somebody has, this asset that's already up 100x and they tell me I have to own some because I'm going to miss the boat. No, I'd much rather find something that's significantly lower and has a lower level of risk. The name of the game is ROI. And I don't know everything. I make mistakes all the time, but long term, I win every single time because I simply wait. For example, with API 3, anytime it's on the 236 or below, I'm buying it. That follows my overall investment thesis or my parameters. From the all-time high to the low, I'm snagging it every time. So that's what's important to me. And notice, Chainlink, early fractal, the earliest I bought was like 160, so not the earliest, and it wasn't like super heavy. But Chainlink absolutely exploded. Let me fix this a little bit. Absolutely exploded from the 236. Where are we? Well, we're getting some nice volume, which is interesting. But overall, API 3, from its all-time low price, you're sitting up, 150%. For me, I'm extremely patient. This is something I believe in and has long-term utility backed by some of the biggest in the game for Web3, for decentralized APIs. And, everybody's telling me the FOMO at Chainlink when it was at $40 and, maybe it recovers and has a beautiful future. But from even this all-time low down here, this guy's gone up over 300x. And, can Chainlink go to $100, a couple $100? Yeah, probably. But I want to go into something that I believe has higher earning potential and isn't up already 300x and is only up not even 2x. So that's my thesis. I have a very, old, boring style because it just requires patience, but this is the same type of patience that I had when I was holding QNT early on. Same thing goes for anybody that was in Gala. They believed it early on. Do you think they cared about 50% drops and then it did 100x? No. Patience, provided you're in an asset with utility. So bottom line with Ripple, the company, love or hate them, I think that XRP is going to be fine. It has huge future potential, and you don't have to agree with me. You can own whatever asset you want. I couldn't care less. I truly am just going to share what I believe in on this channel. And as a researcher, as anybody watching YouTube, take everything with a grain of salt. Even from me, I get passionate. I don't mean to try to convince anybody, but I believe what I believe, and you believe what you believe, and we can all respect that. So yeah, OGN crashed 61%, then did a 1,400% pump. DAG crashed 75%, then did a 1,600% pump. QNT did multiple crashes. And this is what I'd be looking at with my two bags that I believe will be completely fine, such as Casper and API 3. Those are the lower caps, mid caps I'm interested in. I have some higher risk assets, but I don't feel comfortable, shilling them on YouTube. Also, guys, so early this morning, I ran to the beach because, man, I am working more than I've ever worked in my entire life. And for anybody going through it right now, quitting is not an option for winners. That's only for losers. The second that you decide to never give up, you will never lose. You will always get back up. Bad things happen to everybody. It's up to you on what type of story that you tell from that. Some, they use the bad things in life as an excuse to keep them down. They point fingers. But the strongest people I know, the most successful that came from nothing, they use them as building blocks and they keep going. Also some quotes. I forget who said this quote originally, but, people want to do what you do, but they do not want to do what you did to get there. They only see the end result, not the 60-hour work weeks, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the staying up all night, staring at the ceiling, planning. Nonstop work, not having the luxury to just scroll through TikTok or watch Netflix and eat junk food. Because once you do that, you got to change your momentum. But anyways, the people that give up on crypto completely, they're going to come back to you in a couple years because you stuck with it. And they're going to be asking you, how did you make your millions? You're going to tell people the same thing. And the truth is, anybody that's successful, and I have a long way to go, is not smarter than anybody, in my opinion. Now, some are, of course, but I think that they're just simply a lot more disciplined and consistent. It's just consistency. Think about somebody that is extremely fit and healthy. They're just consistent. You build that momentum. So what in your life today can you begin building momentum on? Do you want to read a book? Do you want to learn to cook? Do you want to really just better yourself every single day and learn how to, read a charts or basic investment strategies? Read all the books you can. Listen to audiobooks in the gym instead of listening to music. Your environment, your friends, this will determine your future. Okay, so Credible Crypto right here. So this was actually posted today, and I just wanted to highlight this for some charting for Bitcoin as well. As per my last update, the monthly close is in 6 days and will be very telling. For now, we may make one more local low and would likely print a bullish divergence on the daily, but looking for relief to at least the 40K region for Bitcoin in the coming days. And of course, assets will pump a little bit. Everybody's going to get euphoric all over again. Instead, sit back, relax, focus on the macro. I mean, unless you're doing crazy day trades, and then comes the big monthly close in about a week. Yes, guys, even if you believe a bear market is here, I don't care who you are, assets do not go straight down. There's always going to be a retracement, and during that retracement, just like Blockchain Backer says, that's when we believe alt season does in fact occur. Some people don't believe in alt season. That's fine. It doesn't matter. What matters is what happens and how we make moves from that and just do our best to improve our situation. So during this retrace, and I'm talking about the macro, this is going to take weeks, by the way, are we going to see some alts pumping hard for the next couple months? Or is this actually confirming that the bear market begins? I personally do not think so. As I've shared, I'm personally, and this is just right for me, I'm not buying something that has done a 300x return in the past year, 2 years, maybe even 3 years. I'm buying assets that are relatively close to their bottom, that are building. So let's go through a few developments. So right here, we have the CTO of Casper. Now, this is huge, and this is a project that I am watching. I don't care how long I look like an idiot for this one. This is an asset and a network that has true utility and will be building big this year. So today, we have IPWE. This is a platform for blockchain-enabled IP transactions. They went live on Casper's network. I focus on projects that are future-proofing and building despite market sentiment. They don't care about current price. They're focused on utility of the future. And imagine when there's live utility of businesses utilizing these networks, which they are today, even via IBM Cloud, as an asset with a finite amount of tokens. So buying and selling patents is hard and complicated. The founders of this IPWE understood this, so they built IPWE to create the first ever patent marketplace in the world. In this process of building IPWE, they discovered that knowing who actually owns a patent is not obvious or easy, even though patent data is all public data. Ownership information was not. While patent data is publicly available, the terms of sales of patents between entities has to remain private. Understood. Luckily, Casper is a practical blockchain, so it offers private and public transactions. It is permissionless and permissioned, so it's public and private. Because they're future-proof. They're not trying to act like it's supposed to be Bitcoin. They're realists. Businesses do not want to share the terms of sale, which is understandable. You only want to have certain, parties or certain departments have access to certain records, right? Ownership change can be public, but the terms cannot be. So Casper Labs has partnered with this IPWE and IBM to build an NFT-based solution. NFTs are not just silly JPEGs. Now, of course, those do have benefits in the gaming ecosystem, absolutely. But this is an example of an NFT, tokenizing patents and all the data that comes with it. Do you see how big this can potentially be? So patents will be minted as NFTs on the public Casper network blockchain. So this is on Casper's actual blockchain. Each patent NFT will contain the patent's associated metadata, so all of that information that comes with the patent. When a patent is bought and sold, the terms of the sale are encrypted and stored securely in a manner that only the participants in the sale can view. Makes sense? The sale of a patent is expressed as the NFT changes hands from one owner to another. Future work includes adding more public information about patents, legal cases, providing a single source of truth about a patent's lifecycle, etc. So IPWE with IBM specifically chose to work with Casper Network because of the security, performance, and features available at a layer 1 that they needed. So Casper provides the go-live support to make both of them successful. They have WebAssembly, they have sharding capabilities. I believe there's no slashing on the network. I also am delegating a good amount of Casper right now as well. And yes, I do believe in crazy, crazy future price potential for the Casper price chart. If you have short-term perspective, do not enter crypto. We also know that Casper may be listed on Binance in the future, also just got listed on crypto.com, which is great. I personally have been using, Gate.io. Uphold is my least favorite option because you cannot withdraw it yet, which is very frustrating. You can use MEXC Global as a United States investor as well. But anyways, look at this, and this is the last thing about Casper for now because there's huge things coming. We are proud to announce that Casper Labs is building an open, permissioned blockchain protocol and will be a service provider to China's blockchain-based service network, the BSN, in the city of Fuzhou. I don't know how to say that. So Casper Labs and BSN, China's blockchain-based service network, minted an NFT to commemorate the joint initiative. which also represents the underlying agreements. Interesting. So if you guys want to read more about this is on Cointelegraph. It's all over Twitter. There's a variety of articles from all different sources. You even have BSM sharing the same thing to bring its scalability, security, and decentralization to the Chinese market, a hybrid blockchain, which I like to call future-proof. I'm not calling this an Ethereum killer. I cringe every time I see someone say that as well. I know everybody else does. My point is that just like the rise of Solana, Terra, Phantom, Harmony One, all of these amazing blockchains, even Matic is a layer 2 solution. I believe that Casper will have a multi-billion-dollar market cap, if not significantly bigger, in the future. I think this is a gem that we are simply early in. So here's also the announcement and the NFT as well. So this NFT distributed digital certificate as a symbol of the innovation the parties expect to result from this partnership. So very cool. And you guys can look at it right here. And also, I would like to note that Casper has some huge things, just like the company Ripple for XRP in the United Arab Emirates. That's not speculation, that is fact. I encourage you to just do some basic searches online, and I think you're going to be very impressed with what you see. Also, so I don't know how accurate this chart or this graph is of the internet versus crypto adoption growth. Crypto adoption equals the 90s internet adoption. I know this can be manipulated. Let's see, sources, the World Bank, crypto.com, talking about the linear growth of really internet and the crypto being the same. The stats that I looked at showed that crypto is growing at 2 times the rate. So I would like to know if this was manipulated at all. But nonetheless, I mean, hey, it's an upward trend, an upward trajectory. So pay attention to this. The trend is your friend. People think that crypto's still going to zero. Guys, we've had one of the biggest bull runs in history the past 2 years. If you can't let the market cool off a little bit, I don't know what to tell you. You know, the Staples Center, you have the Miami Heat Stadium changing their name, all crypto-based. This is going to be huge. And over the next 5 years, we're going to see NFT adoption come to fruition. And I'm talking real utility. Right now, we're still in the early days where there's silly nonsense, but some people can make life-changing wealth, and probably some of you guys already have. Oh yeah, and also, we also have Friendly Markets soon launching their NFT marketplace on Casper. So yep, price dropped, it crashed with the whole market. I know it's no fun. And for me, if I really do believe in an investment, imagine accumulating more Casper than ever before right now. And let's say when it finally does, say a 10x return, not financial advice, I've made more money than I ever would have if it just took off sooner. And last but not least, Edward Mora. That's the same character, the name from the guy that takes NZT Limitless. Love that movie. The TV series is pretty good too. But check this out. When the Ethereum Foundation dumped their Ethereum holdings, Vitalik never misses. Now, I like Ethereum, but guys, there are Bitcoin maximalists and Ethereum maximalists that say that Ripple dumps XRP and they don't even know the numbers and how it affects the price. Please, look at this. We even saw that the SEC, even though it should be illegal to trade XRP during that lawsuit, SEC officials were trading XRP, taking advantage of the dump and the inside information. If that isn't corrupt, if this isn't corrupt, I don't know what to tell you. Yet everybody hates Ripple, even though they're taking all the punches. Last but not least, we have Natalia. This is the CEO of Proppy. I know Bearable Bull loves Proppy. It is on Coinbase as well. And listen to these words of encouragement for anybody new. To those who've been saying, I wish I could get into crypto a long time ago. You know, all of us that brag about buying, the March 2020 crash or early 2017, they say, it's too late now. Well, would you buy in the current crash today? I would. And she goes, yeah, it's scary today. That's how we felt too back then. And yet we did it. There was always uncertainty. It's not like you saw XRP at half a penny or, VeChain at a fraction of a penny and you bought it and you're like, boom, this is guaranteed. No, you're still nervous. There's uncertainty. That's how I feel right now buying a few assets. But there's also this really calm confidence and just being patient. And I cannot wait to watch the people that stick around now and witness massive wins in the future, you guys. And you're going to get that experience. And I'm going to be so damn happy watching and hearing about people's wins. And please remember that TaxBit, linked in my video description for a discount, is the go-to platform that I've used. I've used a variety of others. As I always say, you plug in your exchange APIs, you plug in your MetaMask, and boom, you hit download. You get your form, I give it to my accountant, and I am done. So make sure you guys get your taxes done in the coming months, because guess what? Those that are not going to be paying their taxes will get fined by the IRS. They are cracking down. Pay my taxes on any capital gains instead of getting a late fee, because they're going to hit you heavy. You can use the promo code and discount code kevincage down below in the link in the video description. I appreciate all that like and subscribe as always, and until next time.